What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and this is Slide Check, and this is where we talk about some cheap ways to get into drifting. So let's get started. Alright, so the first things first, today we're going to talk about coilovers, and we're going to go over the different price ranges. So we're going to start with anything under 400, then under 600, under 800, and then 900 plus. So let's get started. Under 400 is not something I recommend to anybody. It's on the list because I'm showing you what to stay away from. And these are eBay coilovers. If you search up IS300 coilovers, you're gonna get a list of coilovers ranging in different colors. You're gonna get yellow, blue, red. I have no idea what they mean, but they're all really cheap, $200-300 for coilovers, and they are horrible. They don't ride good, they don't slam. If you want to get slammed, they blow out, they come blown. They just are really bad. They snap, they rust right away, the bushings blow out in 10 seconds. So really do not recommend getting any of these kind of coilovers for any car, actually. So don't ever get anything under 400, especially if it has no name. And I've actually ordered some of these for my Subaru, and they came blown as soon as they got in the mail. And I looked at reviews, people snapping coilovers, blowing bushings out. So stay away from those. All right, so next are things under 600. These are stuff that you're just gonna daily, if you're not gonna put that much abuse to it, driving to work and back, where, you know, the performance of it doesn't really matter too much. This is where you would get these kind of coilovers, but for track purposes, I would stay away. But let's look at the list. All right, so first on the list is Rev 9. I have actually personally never used these. My friend just picked up a set. They come starting at $497. They're fully adjustable, full body coilovers. So I have no reviews on these. I looked up reviews for other cars and they say they're okay. I hear they don't slam. So if you're looking to slam your car, these are not the ones. But I think for its price point, people say it's a great combination of a stock ride quality with ability to lower. So if you just want to go ahead and lower your car a bit, put some wheels on, definitely for the price, I'd say go for it. But other than that, I would stay away. All right, next is Yonaka. Yonaka is pretty popular in the IS300 community, and so people run it all the time. I believe there's different variations. When I was looking at coilovers, they were sold out everywhere. They come starting at $569, so still pretty cheap. I hear they're pretty soft, but people say coilovers, no matter what coilover you get for the IS300, they are always pretty soft, and that's because the car is really heavy. But Yonaka, I think, is probably the best entry-level starter coilover. If you're looking to just lower your car, I think that's where I would get, because there's a lot of reviews on the IS300 about the quality being good, lasts kind of long, ride is pretty good, and it slams if you're looking to get slammed. But I would start with that if you're looking to get coilovers for your IS300. So next on the list is CX Racing coilovers, and there's two different variations. So I'm talking about the cheaper one. The spring rate is, I believe, 12K front, 10K back, and these are pretty good. CX Racing, I think, has proven to be a little bit better quality than people think. And for the price, $539, it's pretty cheap, and people use it to drift on those. So if you want to, you can get these and start getting to drifting. They are pretty soft on the car, but they do the job, and they do have some warranty. There's a lot of rumors that these were built with BC Racing, built with Megans, but I mean, the design of it all looks similar to BC Racing, so who knows? I don't know that for sure, but I think CX Racing, as a starting coilover to get drifting, that would be the best bet, and it's cheap. It also has 32-way dampening adjustable, so if you want to adjust the stiffness, you can. With these cheap coilovers, I don't know how much they actually are adjusting, but it does have that option. So if you wanted to adjust your dampers at the track, and you can, there's always a, you know, you want to go on the street, be a little softer, go on the track and raise it up. These coilovers are definitely a good entryway into a little more adjustable coilovers. So there you have it. All right, last things on this list is TNs. TNs, this is where you get into kind of the bigger brand name stuff, but this is TN's most basic. I just believe it's called TN Street, and these don't even come with top hats. This is super simple coilover. You have to use your own stock top hats, and mixed reviews. They are really soft. They're not great for an actual track. They're meant for street only. With TNs, at least you know what you're getting yourself into. It's a brand that's used commonly in motorsports. This is their basics, so it's nothing crazy, but the customer service is going to be great, and it will get you situated, and at least you know exactly how the car will feel, because with a company like this you get consistency in your product. And so definitely a good coilover if you're looking for a brand name in this price range. Now we are getting in the coilovers under $800, and so this is the price range where I will recommend any of these to start drifting on, just because you have a little more stiffness, customizability, and a little more reliability with these products, because a lot of people use these in this price range and they're most commonly used between other platforms. So let's get into it. So first things on this list, it is CX Racing again. This is their stiffer version where it's 14K front, 10K rear. This is actually what I run on my car, and so far so good. It is a little soft for my liking. I want my coilovers to be a little bit more stiffer, but I have been drifting on them for, this is gonna be a year now, and they don't leak. They're holding up still. The coilovers are not frozen or seized. Bushings are still good. Keep in mind that I don't daily this car, but at the track it seems a lot of abuse. So I really recommend it. Some people are really against CX Racing just because it's still a no-name brand, but I think CX Racing has proven to be a little bit better within the community, and so really recommend it at this price point. It's one of the cheapest ones on this budget, and so recommend 8 out of 10. So next on this list we have TNs again. This is going to be the Lexus version, and this one comes with top hats, so you don't have to take apart your current suspension to put on new coilovers, which I hate doing. I really hate taking on my top hats, because then you need a spring compressor, or you're going to have to shoot your top hats out by unbolting the top and then put it on the new coilover. It takes a lot of time. So the Lexus comes with top hats, and this is sitting at $689. So a little bit more expensive than a CX Racing, but these are gonna come soft. They're only gonna be about 10K in the front, 8K in the rear. So if you're looking for a softer ride closer to stock, then this is great. Also, this is 16 valve adjustable, so you do have some adjustability in terms of stiffness. But for me, I would say this coilover is a little bit too soft for my liking, especially for the track. But I think if you want a comfortable ride on the street, these coilovers would be great. And drifting is not all about stiff coilovers. If you have a lot of power and you need more grip, it's actually better to have softer coilovers. So if you're having a lot of power, this might work for you. I don't know, the formula for cars with over 300 horsepower and the coilover setup on this car, but for this one, if it works for you, great. But for me, it's not stiff enough for my liking, but for the price, it is really great. All right, now we are on to Megan Racing, the Easy Street 2s. These ones are sitting at $749. These are also really soft. I think these are softer than the TNs. These are 10K front, 6K rear. So really, really soft in the rear, and also really expensive for the price. Megan's, I guess those are kind of the cheapest entry-level coilovers a lot of people get. People also say these are the same as BCs. They're just kind of a separate product line from BCs. I don't know, you don't quote me on that, but Megan's are decent coilovers. I would say they're more all-around coilovers for the street, for the track, light use track. But just because of the stiffness, I wouldn't recommend using them. They are very similar to a lot of the coilovers on here, just like the CX Racing. The design is going to be the same, the functionality is going to be the same. It is really like 15 or 16 way adjustable, but if you're looking for something for the track, I would probably move into the CX Racing just because of the spring rate is a little bit better. Now we're moving on to function and form, type 2s. I've actually never used these coilovers, never seen anybody use these. I know a lot of people ran these on Hondas back in the day when I had a lot of friends that had Hondas. This is what they were going to, but looking at the specs, these do seem great, and I know Function and Form has a good reputation for slamming cars, being great coilovers, had good customer service. But for the IS300 community, I don't know, so if anybody is running them, please let me know. I would love to hear how well they work. And the spring rates are 14K front, 10K rear, so just like the CX Racing, but you get a little more brand name reputation with these, and so you might have better warranty with them. But I would like to know more myself, so if anybody's running them, please let me know. They are 32-way adjustable, so I think these would be a great option for the track. So let's move on to next. Now we are in the 900 plus, and any of these coilovers in this price range will be good. It all comes to personal preference, your research, what you're trying to get into. These coilovers are made by companies that are, specifically designing coilovers. They're not just a third party. They're really pushing out coilovers and are into the sport Any of these coilovers in this price range will have a lot more customizability from when you buy it. These are all the base prices, but you can do custom options as you order them, and they have a lot of good customer service. So let's get into it. The first one on the list is going to be the cheapest and probably the most popular coilover option for this car and many other cars. It is BC Racing, and they start at around $995. And that is because, you know, they're a great coilover for the price. They have really good customer service. They have customizable spring rates, so you can get Swiss springs with them. You can buy parts separately. So if you want to buy the shock body, the springs, the collars, the tools, you can all contact BC or on the website, buy these, and you know, you can piece what together what you need. If you want a different spring, you can always upgrade them. There are a little bit extra to upgrade the springs, I believe like $250, but this is the kind of the entry-level coilover to kind of the top tier coilovers, just because of the customizability. And so if I were to get coilovers again and I had the money, I think I would start with BC Racing and go from there. That is probably the baseline top quality you can get. I wouldn't say they're the best, they're probably the lowest at this price point, but they're also really great. So on to the next one. So next is Silver's coilovers. I've actually don't know anybody running these. These are starting to get a little more popular. These are coilovers designed by people who are into the sport, who are actually racing cars, who are, you know, designing them for themselves, but for, you know, the consumer. They want a coilover that's great and that's affordable. And these are starting at $1,149, still really great for the price. So with Silver coilovers, you can get custom spring rates, you can get super low option, you can get a Swift spring upgrade. So that could be, I don't know, they have two options for a spring upgrade and a Swift spring upgrade. So they might have their own in-house springs. And the rear extender, I don't know what that is, but you have a lot of options with Silvers, and I know these are a small company that are trying to make coilovers for the consumer, so I'm gonna assume these are gonna be really great coilovers. I'm interested in trying these, so I think in the future I might upgrade to a set of these. But if anybody's trying these, please let me know. I'd love to hear more about Silvers, just because the story about how they started is awesome, and the customizability right there is great, and the price point is not much more than BC's, but you still get a great product. All right, next on the list, it is HKS, and these are the coilovers if you just want some street cred. Everybody knows HKS, the cool JDM car parts. But I think with these, you are paying for a great product, but I think customer service is going to be a little bit slow, just because HKS headquarters is outside of the US. There's not much, I don't think, any customizability, so they are pretty expensive. These coilovers start at $1,275, and with no customizability, there's a trade-off, but you do get HKS coilovers, and it's going to be a great product because it is HKS. These coilovers are 10K front, 8K rear, so those are going to be standard spring rates for a lot of your coilovers, for at least the IS300, and these have about 30-way adjustable dampening. So pretty standard coilover, no adjustability or no customizability with these coilovers, but I guarantee you buy these, you're gonna have a great product. So next on the list, it is fuel suspension, and these are great just because these are accompanied by Odi Botches, who is a Formula D driver, and so these coilovers are going to be abused and tested and work really well because a lot of drifters use them. They're customizable, and for the price at $1,285, there's an awesome choice, just because you're going to get a product that has been abused, has been drifted, and knows it works, because people are drifting on it left and right. You're gonna get something that is built by a drifter. You're gonna get a product that is gonna be hand built and have high quality. And so fuel suspension is probably a coilover that if you bought one of these cheaper coilovers and you want to get something better and more competitive, I definitely would recommend fuel suspension. Next on the list, it is Fortune Auto, and these are probably going to be the most reputable, most expensive, not most expensive, but probably highest and best quality product you can get in terms of coilovers. These are sitting at $1,299, and these have the best customer service. They'll answer any of your questions. They'll help you out. If you have any questions for them, they're really willing to help you. These have the best warranty out of all the coilovers. These have 5 years warranty, which is crazy because most coilovers at most have 2. So they're adding an extra 3 years on top of their coilovers. So that's how they believe their product is quality. And also, each coilover is dyno tested, dyno shock tested before it's sent out. So you get a certificate knowing that it's going to be great. And so these have different level ranges from, you know, your entry level starting at $1,299, and then it goes up to anything you want. They make coilovers for almost any type of sport. The only thing is, I've heard some stories about these coilovers not going that low. You can max them out and your car will be kind of above the tire. I'm not entirely sure, so you're gonna want to do your research, contact them if necessary. But if you're just, you know, going from the more performance look, track look, and for the best performance, these coilovers are great. So last on the list, it is going to be stance coilovers. These are going to be the most expensive. These are sitting at $1,495, so almost $1,500. Well, you do get custom spring rates. I don't know if any of the other components you can buy separately and replace them if necessary. Pretty sure you can. Haven't looked into that. But so next on the list, it is stance coilovers. These are going to be the most expensive, sitting at $1,495. You do get custom spring rates. You do get a coilover that is used throughout all the stance people, because these cars will slam. You can get low to the ground and you can get some stiff spring. So if you want to have a car that's slammed and to look good and to handle good and drive good and drift and look, you know, while you're look like you're tucking rim while you're drifting, these are the coilovers to go. They are the most expensive, but people love stance coilovers, depending on, you know, from entry level just stance person to daily driving all the way to track use. They don't have tons of options in terms of customizability. You don't get the, you know, the dyno shock tested sheet or the 5-year warranty. But if you're looking for a coilover that will perform and also look good or make you look good, these are the coilovers for you then. That is it. I hope you get a better sense of coilovers and what you should get for your car. There's tons of options depending on what you want to do. If you are into drifting, if you want to get in the track, if you want to look good, if you want to slam your car, there is a coilover for you. Also depending on your budget, but don't get eBay. I really recommend staying from it. If you and your friends are gonna get one, don't. If you see your friends buying one, tell them to stop. But anything else on the list, you know, just do your research and see what works best for you. I really recommend getting any of these if you are, you know, really depending on your budget and what you want to do. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I hope you learned something about coilovers, at least for the IS300, and I hope I helped you make a good decision on coilover buying. So see you guys in the next one.